Hello, I'm Peter from WSI Digital Advisors. This is an online version of my presentation to the West London Festival of Business. I hope you find it useful. Thanks. Hi, welcome to Making AI Your Unfair Business Advantage at the West London Festival of Business. My name is Peter McKenna. If we jump into a little about myself, I've spent the last 25 years in digital marketing and e-commerce, the co-founder of WSI Digital Advisors, and I've been an e-commerce leader for years for multiple businesses. Some examples there before. This is me looking very sprightly at the festival last year. I've been in this game a long time, probably too long, as you'll see later. WSI Digital Advisors are a family business based in Chiswick. There's two of us, two principals, myself and Nikki. And our motto is to embrace digital, stay human, because we understand that people buy from people. The digital bit is just a connector whenever we get into it, but the human connection is key. I'd like to start by getting you to think of a number. Think about your knowledge around what is happening with AI, and then rank your knowledge on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is I know everything. Now hold that number and let's see where we get to at the end. Let's go back in time. Before Google, you had to know where to look. This is from 1996. This is a Yellow Pages, which for the millennials amongst you, was a book that you went to when you wanted to find out where services were. 1998, Google came along. More people started publishing more stuff online. And if we take a time machine ride back to 2000, this is me. And you see what I mean about being in the game too long. It's my younger me with a white shirt. This was our project team when we built superdrug.com in 2000. One interesting thing was that we had to write a document and print a document to explain to our staff what a website was and what it was for. And we routinely got questions like, can you print the website out for me? Moving forward, let's see what happened next over the next following 20 years. The internet, and more importantly, the evolution of the devices using it, has changed the way that we work, the way that we shop, the way we record our experiences, the way we communicate with each other, the way we consume mass media, TV and radio, the way we eat. Think of Deliveroo. Multiple mega businesses just died out. Kodak is the archetypal example. So, welcome to the revolution. We are where we are. Right, on to AI. We've been talking about AI for more than 10 years now. People considered it was all about robots, Arnie descending from the future and so on. But most times in that period, it was just machine learning and smart algorithms. But that is changing. Now, if we want to ask an expert, let's ask the one. Here's the man. What would Bill say? Bill says that he thinks what's coming is fundamental. It's as fundamental as the invention of the microchip and the internet, which made him very rich. And he thinks that it's important enough to pile a boatload of cash into. Traditional AI run by big corporations and government, this has been ongoing since the dawn of large-scale computing. We've really pursued those concepts. Now, as technology has speeded up, we could process huge amounts of data using huge amounts of computing power and huge amounts of electricity. It became really good at pattern analysis and predictions. If we look at some of there's lots of commercial applications. I won't read them out. In medicine, however, tumor detection rates, as an example, using AI soared over traditional techniques, reaching the point where we now have predictive models in that space whenever histology routines are examining samples. But in 2017, something else happened. Researchers from Google published a paper that would change the world. The paper was called Attention is All You Need. I've read it recently. It's proper rocket science stuff, not to be recommended. It introduced the concept of transformers. Now that's not Optimus Prime and so on and so forth. The clue is GPT stands for General Purpose Transformer. Now this concept was the holy grail of computing, so artificially sentient beings. We used to discuss it when I did my computer science degree, and that was a long time ago. Now this launched an arms race, which in terms of corporate resources was immense. It was a bit like the Manhattan Project in Oppenheimer. You've got big tech, in the case of Google, pouring $200 billion into this over the past few years. This was a race for domination. We talked about Oppenheimer. I preferred Barbie. Anyway, in November 2022, ChatGPT launched. Now, this was different. This was the dawn of a new era, because what it was really was democratizing AI and making that power available to the public. It reached 1 million users in 5 days, which in terms of growth is astronomically quick. If you look, for instance, at Spotify, it took 5 months to get to that, and they were giving it away free back then. Instagram, 2.5 months. It's fantastically quick. Now, what this thing was called a large language model. The first version of ChatGPT that was launched was trained on 300 billion words using Wikipedia, lots of books, curated sites on the web. And it was about 2 years out of date, so it was up to about 2020 in terms of what it knew about. It didn't know about stuff that happened last week. So how was this different? Well, it had a human-like capability to generate new creations. It would come up with stuff that you didn't expect it to. That wasn't necessarily designed to. Sometimes it comes up with stuff that's just plain wrong, but that's by the by. It also created a new way to access information for us if we think of information as being a commodity that we want to get after. What did it mean in this respect? If you think of it like this, you go into a library, you ask the librarian, I want to know about, the history of Holiday Inns. The answer will be, look on this row and that shelf, a bit like Google is now when Google gives you a list of things to look at. It doesn't interpret them, it just says the information you want is probably in these spaces. What the LLMs do with generative AI, essentially here, the librarian has read every book in the library and can join the concepts up. And it can give you a joined up answer. And what do I mean by generative AI? Well, according to ChatGPT, quotes, these are systems designed to create content mimicking human-like creativity based on the data they've been trained on. So in that respect, it's a bit like mansplaining. Jumping on to what's possible with generative AI, this is our list of some of the applications that are out there, starting with ChatGPT, and it's the Google version, Google Gemini. This is almost certainly out of date, but I'll touch on some of these examples as we go through this presentation. When I said before that it was lagging by 2 years, ChatGPT really got its game together. ChatGPT 4 was released in March 2023, so 3.5 months later. It was 10 times more powerful than the previous one. When it was tested on that year's US bar exams, it scored 90%, so more than enough to be a lawyer. Now that was up from 10% 4 months prior. And when I said it lagged by 2 years, it's continually getting closer and closer to currency. Now at the moment, it's caught up to December last year in terms of the material that's being loaded. At least that's what OpenAI tell me. And then let's have a look at the IQ of ChatGPT. So today's ChatGPT has got an IQ of 155. So that's 10 times smarter than its predecessor. Now this is getting close to Einstein, who had an IQ allegedly of 160. Now 150 is in the top 1% of people, just to give you a context. And what does this mean for business? So for the first time ever, we can scale knowledge work. This is basically an industrial revolution for white-collar workers, which some historians characterize as the fifth industrial revolution. Go figure. But from your perspective, what would you do with a team of free university graduates? So law graduates, MBAs, economics and maths graduates. What would you do with these guys? Let's have a look at some use cases and see what you can and can't do. I'm going to focus on ChatGPT mostly, as we've got a short time slot today. Now this is ChatGPT. This is what it looks like if you haven't seen it. It's very sparse. You just type in the box. So you might say that the hottest new programming language is in fact English. I'm going to run the examples as videos on my screen. So my nerves wouldn't stand up doing this live on hotel Wi-Fi. But the prompts used are real and are against ChatGPT in the past week. So here's my first example. Oh, well, let's assume we're a company based in West London and we need a new accounts payable clerk who needs to know Sage Accounting. That's what I'm going to pay. And please, I'm now asking ChatGPT, please write for me a job description that I can use in an advertisement. Keep it to 200 words. Now this instruction in ChatGPT land is called a prompt. You'll hear people talking about prompts, where you're asking it to do something. So here we go. I'm going to paste that in and set it going. Go. And it will come back. Now the interesting thing to note here is that you can see it's doing what we asked. It's coming up with a job description. It's also coming up with a set of responsibilities and requirements. So it's giving that it's putting structure on it that we didn't actually instruct it to. And it's also adding to it things that it thinks are important, like other skills that you might need to carry out that role. Jumping forward to another use case, talking about inspiration. Now, my colleagues in the States call this ideation. I think we've got a perfectly good English word for it, inspiration. So anyway, the Wall Street Journal put up a bunch of US MBAs against ChatGPT to see who came up with the more innovative ideas. And guess who won? Now I'm going to show you an example that I've localized to make it a bit more relevant rather than the examples they use, but it's the same thing effectively. Create a list of the 20 best possible company brand names for a sustainable, eco-friendly clothing brand that specializes in organic materials, cutting-edge design, and ethical manufacturing that's based in West London. So off we go. You'll notice that I told it the ones that I like. I'm going to anyway. And to give me more like that. I like 1, 11, and 20. Give me another 10 like these. So it does. And I focused in on those themes. Now, I could do that infinitely. I could keep drilling down until I saw what I liked. That was an example of what you can do in a minute. Okay, now we're going to talk about using AI for promotional ideas. I want to show that if you know how and what to ask for, you can seriously accelerate anything in your business, even if you're mad enough to call a new range of pasta Alan Rides, which for those of you that don't know is the chairman of the Festival of Business today. Anyway, I've given it some context. So I operate a small Italian restaurant. I want ChatGPT to act as a promotions and sales agency for me and to give me 3 ideas for a local promotion to introduce my new pasta. I've also given it my mission statement. I'd like it to make sure it provides me with specific details on how to execute the event and how it's going to help me. I've also told it not to discount anything, and I'd like the specifications for a poster to go outside my restaurant and 2 ideas for a Facebook post. Let's see what it does. You can see here that we fed the prompt into a personalized GPT that we've been training as an assistant. You can train a GPT with important information about your business or a function within your business, then fund your requests and questions into it. You can also see that it's responding in terms of the requests that I give it. So it's giving me details on, perhaps how I can set each event up, each promotion up, what I can do to make it special and what the benefits of it are going to be. It's giving me the specification for the A0 poster, and it's giving me a couple of ideas for Facebook posts. So all in all, I think it's met the brief. Accelerating your learning is also a great thing, if for no other reason than cheating at book club. So I want a book summary. Provide a concise summary of the book Surrender by Bono, covering the main topics discussed, key characters and primary themes. Off it goes. It gives me the information that I need. You get the idea? The next bit is, I think, is really cool. This is a great one. This example is from my colleague Dan Monaghan, the founder of WSI in Canada. He loves TED Talks as he struggles to find people smarter than him on a day-to-day basis, but they can really chew up time. What if you could get a summary to help you decide if you wanted to listen to the whole thing? Well, you can, amazingly. This example uses a plugin, which is an extension from a third party in our world, called Video Insights, to listen to the video, look at the video, the words in the video, and to give you a summary. You can then decide if you want to listen to the whole thing. So it's telling you the name, it then says what Chris Bailey was talking about, how he did real experiments and how he did thought experiments. So great from the point of view if you want to, if that floats your boat, you then just go and you look at it. We've got lots of these examples. So AI is sales manager or coach, AI is data analyst, AI assisted strategy development. That's something that we have been involved in. AI is a computer programmer. Now I was a computer programmer 40 years ago. I wish I had something like this to help me from the point of view of super fast code development. We're also working on a set of tools that we're calling the voice of the customer. That's where we take customer feedback and we analyze it using the AI tools. We're developing these as business tools within WSI and incorporating them into our processes for supporting our clients in their business. Now, people are always interested in the graphic capabilities of AI, so I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser tour. DALL-E 2 is the OpenAI graphics tool, as those are the guys that run ChatGPT. So what they offer up is it uses prompts to build images. So whether you want Nemo in a fishbowl or you want an American footballer in the style of Van Gogh, you tell it that, and then you refine your prompts. You can go and play with this. You can access this for free. Now, if you want to do something useful with it, here's an example of when I wanted a graphic for a presentation to illustrate squabbling. I wanted angry seagulls fighting over a chip. I had to use the word French fry because I didn't know what a chip was. It kept showing me crisp for some reason. But as you can see the results. It keeps evolving the image if you tell it to until you see something that you want, and then you just download it. The next application I want to talk about is Midjourney. Midjourney is a fantastic thing. This is, this deals with, much richer and much more targeted images than DALL-E, to my mind anyway. Although DALL-E is integrated into ChatGPT, so you can ask ChatGPT to generate images in DALL-E. Anyway, Midjourney. This is the community feed. This is where you can see other people's prompt output. The idea is the same. You give your prompt to the system. It does allow a lot more structured input than DALL-E. As you roll through, you see there's a great many buxom women in there. There's also a good picture coming up of Dave Grohl. Yeah, there we go. And my personal favorite, the Jack Russell as a Navy Admiral. Anyway, to do something a bit more practical, one of my colleagues wanted to produce a picture of a lion in Midjourney for some reason, strolling towards him, looking fierce on the savannah. So you can see this developing here in real time behind, but I'm going to jump forward and just show you the image that it developed. That's pretty cool, and no royalties to pay. Next up is another favorite of mine, video avatars. These are great for customer explainer videos, for training and so on and so forth. What they do is they allow you to get text presented as speech. So if I change the words in the presentation, I don't have to re-record the whole thing. It's not person dependent. The message can be delivered by multiple ethnicities, multiple accents, and so on. You can create an avatar. If you've got time and money, you can create an avatar based on yourself if you choose. Best of all, these are local guys. This lot emerged from the UCL incubator. So anyway, here's a couple of examples of the same script being presented differently. This is the work of seconds.
Hello, welcome to the West London Festival of Business. Thanks to Alan and the team for inviting us to speak. I hope you are enjoying Peter's presentation and are looking forward to a productive day. Sadly, there were no burly Irish avatars available, but please come and talk to us on the stand later. We are WSI Digital Advisors. Thank you for listening.
Hello, welcome to the West London Festival of Business. Thanks to Alan and the team for inviting us to speak. I hope you're enjoying Peter's presentation and are looking forward to a productive day. Sadly, there were no burly Irish avatars available, but please come and talk to us on the stand later. We are WSI Digital Advisors. Thank you for listening.
So if I want to change the accent or the face, it's super easy. They're both a bit robotic, but there wasn't a choice of one with a Belfast accent. So okay, now what does all this mean? It means that essentially we're at that regime change moment, one of a huge many things in flux today. So as Dickens put it really well, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Is this really going to be the end of the commercial world as we know it? The doom scrollers certainly predict something. You might say my business isn't white collar, but look at the last few years in terms of disruption. These guys certainly weren't white collar, but they had to spend 3 or 4 years doing the knowledge. Virtually overnight, that was trashed, being on the road in a day and providing the same service to Londoners. And Justin Trudeau put this really, really well. The pace of change has never been this fast, yet it'll never be this slow again. Now, he said this in 2018. Now, if you think about what's happened since 2018, that now looks like the good old days. So, it's just getting faster and faster. I want you to think now about what the competition is going to do. What are they going to do with these tools? Because they've got the same tools as you. Are they going to reduce costs? Are they going to increase profitability? Are they going to reinvest into their business? Are they going to try to move faster? I don't know, but the real question that you have to ask yourself is what you're going to do, not what they're going to do. To help you along with that, I'd like you to imagine your business as a house. In fact, a beautifully rendered AI house in this case. Within that house, there are attics, there's drawers, and there's sheds, stuffed with opportunities and ideas. And if you're lucky, there's a few hidden Rembrandts. So work out what you can leverage from what you're good at already. Use the tools that are coming on stream and see where you go. To find your hidden Rembrandts, you need to learn to use your new AI-assisted superpowers. If you don't know, reach out for help. Now, for those of you in the audience, hands up if you've learned something. If that number about knowing more about AI has moved up in the last 20 minutes. I hope it has. Anyway, thank you very much for taking part. My name is Peter. We are WSI Digital Advisors. We're based in Chiswick in London, and that's our URL. And if you want to have a look at our website, that QR code will take you there. Thank you very much.